Okay, finally we're in our landscape. It's on a 64 by 64 grid of squares, and there's two triangles for every square. Now I'm going to press, I'm just going to press the, oh, we've got to have an active window, haven't we? I'm just going to press the forward arrow key, and I'm also going to press A to accelerate a little bit. I'm going to turn off the OpenGL lighting. Maybe that gets us a little bit more speed. And we're just wandering along by pressing the forward arrow key. Well, soon we should reach the very edge of the square. In fact, it looks the 64 by 64 grid of squares. Yep, we're zooming off over the edge. And then I'm going to use the arrow keys to turn around and see what other kind of movements we have. Right, I'm going to turn around by pressing the right arrow key. We haven't quite reached the edge yet. So yes, the right arrow key is just shifting the point where we're looking at, and the camera's staying still. If I press shift and the left arrow key, or control and the left arrow key even, sorry, yeah, there's different things you can do. You can either use control left to walk sideways, shift left rotates the camera around stirrup point, and left rotates the camera stare at point around the camera. So as you can see, if we just now move just over the end of the square, let's move back and further. Anyway, we've got the square set up so that the shape that you can see it's just gradually coming to view now is matched up on the other side. This enables us to do periodic boundary conditions. Let's switch back on the OpenGL lighting by pressing F3. Now, as you can see, there's a mouse cursor that I can move around. If I press F2, what happens now, if I move the mouse, the camera viewpoint changes, and if I press F2, there's no longer that function, and it frees up the mouse cursor. And press F2 again, the cursor vanishes, and things move around with the mouse. Right, I'm going to press F2 so I can actually come to the next bit. Okay, we're back in our landscape now. And what are we going to do now? The landscape, as I mentioned, is on a big grid, 64 by 64 squares. Each of them's divided into two triangles. Now the thing about the 64 by 64 square is that the opposite edges match, so we can have periodic boundary conditions. So what's going to happen here is I'm just going to move forward. What will happen is bits of, as we approach the edge, we take bits of the landscape from behind us and put it in front of us. So what will happen is we won't run out a square. Anyway, that's a useful little trick, because yeah, you want to be able to wander around a huge area, or give the illusion of a huge area, and of course once you've been around a little bit and changed directions a few times, you get completely lost, and even though a lot of the features are the same, you're continually approaching them from different angles. Anyway, we're going to come back into the landscape again. This time we'll have smooth shading. We'll put in some fog just to hide these bits of land magically appearing in front of you, and we'll go into flight mode, like flying an aeroplane. So we can do a roll and we can loop the loop. Okay, let's see if we can take a flight. Right, here we are, we're over our foggy landscape. I'm just going to press F2 and here we are. This is moving the mouse control now. We're zooming around our landscape. So far I'm just using the up and down arrow keys. Because we're in a flight mode, we don't have to use those to move forward and back. We're flying around anyway. Whereas in wander mode, you stay still. Oh, we're going over a peak there, and everything's looking really foggy. And well, there's the landscape now. Because we're in aeroplane mode, we can do a victory roll. That's just pressing the right arrow key. Hopefully I won't go through the mountain walls. Oh, we've gone through. If I had collision testing on, we just have a big screen saying, "Kapow, you've gone into a mountain." There we are. However, we've got collision testing off, so it can fly straight through the walls. Collision testing actually doesn't make things go kapow, but that's what you need if you want to go kapow when you crash, or even just to stop you walking through a wall. I'm just going to finish off this tiny bit with doing a loop-the-loop. So now we're pointing straight up into the sky. And soon we should be, oh yes, here we are, we're upside down now. Now we're going straight down towards the ground. We're going to go through. Oh, just about made it. So there we are in flight mode. I'm just going to go back into this landscape one more time after this. I'm just going to press F2 so we get our mouse back so I can stop recording for the moment.